Good morning, YouTubers. This is Anime Gamer Fanboy, and welcome to the live stream. Today, guys, I am going to be eating Hello Panda chocolates, which is a cream center with a crunchy shell. Oh, sorry, guys, if you hear an echo in the background, I had to turn on my stream in case I needed to hear some audio, so I do apologize. I I would have something quieter, but And I am going to be drinking this matcha latte, uh, matcha with milk tea. Uh, and also, guys, I do have some water so I could clean my palate and get myself situated. So I'm gonna go ahead. I am going to start with the tea, which means I'm gonna try a swig of this first, and I'll probably drink down the bottle before I cleanse my palate. But okay, so starting off with the smell, it doesn't really smell like tea. It smells like mint. It smells like mint and milk. I'm a little nervous, but hey, it's a good thing. If you're nervous, that means there's nothing possibly to hide. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, this actually doesn't taste like matcha tea. It actually tastes like mint with milk. Try it again. Yeah, honestly, that's what it tastes like. Now, for starters, you guys are probably wondering why this is in a you know metal bottle like a pop can. Well, guys, because you all know that all these snacks that got imported from Japan are actually from vending machines. So, fun fact: if you ever travel to Japan, they do have some convenience stores where you can get ramen from machines, but you could also get like teas, soda pops, any types of sweets and treats. But it's just one of those things where they figuratively have everything technical wise come out of a vending machine. Mm. But I'll drink this down and then we'll get to the thing. Also, guys, today I may do a another video of going out and about today. To fill you guys in, yesterday was my youngest nephew's birthday. I didn't get him anything. I actually was on donut duty. What that means is like basically, um, they take donuts out to the school for the kids' birthday, and pretty much. So I had to pick up 2 dozen donuts, which if you guys do the math, half a dozen six, a dozen's 12. So I had to pick up 2 dozen. So you just take 12 times two boxes. That's 24 donuts. But I had to pick up that many donuts, and it had to come out of my pocket, which I'm not mad about. But I feel like it would have been a little bit better if they would have said, "Hey, can you pick up this, and we'll pay you back," or something like that. But as I said, guys, I am not a jerk. I love my family. I help them out as much as I need to. It's just sometimes I just wish that if I help them out and bend over backwards, they could do their best to help me out. Um, but I'm not trying to sound disrespectful, so before everybody says, "Oh, hey, anime, why are you sounding disrespectful?" I'm not. I just, and I'm sorry I jumped the gun every time, guys, because I always get like, what. I'm gonna fill you guys in on a little something about me real quick. Growing up, my brain plays through a little thing called what if scenarios. Basically, what that is like, you think of a situation and your brain starts going in calculations mode, like calculations mode or chess mode or whatever you want to call it. But what happens is my brain thinks of every possible what if scenario, and it ups my paranoia. So and I'll give you guys an example. So an example is like if I'm in school and I have a friend of mine who has been a good friend and we talk a lot. And finally he says one night, "Oh, hey dude, I'm going to go to a party." That it slowly starts acting up. So the what if scenario is when like someone will be as calm and cool as a cucumber, but then they'll play every scenario possible. So like when my friend brought up was possibly going to a party that night, what if scenarios started marking. Like it started with like stage one, like what if someone drugs his drink. Then it went to stage two, like what if someone tries to take advantage. Stage three, what if he gets intoxicated and tries to drive home. Stage four, what if he gets drunk and someone tries to play the field with him. And when I mean play the field, guys, I mean like the category of and so forth and so forth. So anyway, but that's the main key that's been happening with me a lot lately, and I try my best to keep it under control. However, oh, however, I'm not 100% capable of keeping that under control. So it tends to get me to the point where it'll start out as paranoia, and then when I try to explain to somebody, it feels like they're not getting where I'm standing on the fence. And then it leads me to aggression, and then leads to possible mental anger shutdowns. And what I mean by that is like if I'm trying to explain something and explain to them, "Hey, this is a bad idea. You need to sit out of it." And then they get all huffy and pretty much want to pick a fight, then my aggression and anger comes out, and it's trying to get them to understand, stand, "Hey, I'm trying to protect you. You need to listen." And I will tell you guys a story on this one. So back in high school, I had a buddy of mine who wanted to go see an R-rated movie. I'm not gonna say the name of a movie, but he went to go see an R-rated movie. It was based off of a certain adult-themed book. That's as much as I'm gonna say. Y'all can take a guess, but here's a hint: it has a number, a shade, and a color. Just don't put it in the comments down below because I don't want to put up with anyone saying, "Oh, really? You're talking about that on stream?" Because I don't know if it'll go against the guidelines. So my friend wanted to see the movie, and this was a week before he just wanted to get tickets, and this was like maybe a week prior before he got a fake ID. Um, well, we went to go to the movies. I usually check in like with anime flicks, romance flicks, and yes, I mean like anime romance flicks and stuff like that. Because most females like a romantic, pretty much. But anywho, so what happened was my friend was trying to get a ticket to the certain R-rated movie. Again, the movie was the name of a book, but it has a number, a shade of color, and the ticket person, because I forget if it was a male or a female. So it was like I said, when I remember this stuff, my brain fuzzies out on details. Um, but basically, the ticket person told him, "Sorry, no ID, no R-rated movie." So my friend got furious, and it was like pretty much kicking him when he's down and out because basically they're telling him, "Hey, you're too young." And so one day at school, was so angry, like he cussed up a storm where a teacher did not care, where he did not care if a teacher heard. Mm, wow. Sorry, guys. When I finish this, I'll give you my review. But back to the story. So when we was in the hallway, I tried to get him to calm down because my what if scenario synapses kicked in, and it was like, okay, if a teacher hears him, he's going to risk getting written up. He's going to risk getting sent to the principal's office. He is going to risk getting his parents called, and he's going to risk getting suspended, expelled, ISR, da 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 da. So finally, I told him, dude, you need to mellow out. You need to do all this stuff. And so he basically finally took my advice. We talked at lunch, and apparently we had a student who was eligible to make fake IDs. So he's going around. So me and my friend were talking about this incident. He overhears us, and he says he has the stuff to make fake IDs and make them legitimate. Now, this was back in high school, mind you guys. And you know, back then I was the type of person that was overprotective because it's like, hey, I don't want my friends getting into trouble. I don't want anybody getting almost getting pretty much a uh, metaphorical noose around their neck. Um, so, and what I mean by metaphorical, I meant like not really, but verbally, or like like a non, I'm sorry to explain myself. Like I said, I have that problem where if I try to say something one way, people think I'm putting it out of context, and pretty much, So that's why I always explain myself. If I do that in some of my videos, that's why. So like I said, he was trying. So basically, this kid was offering him to make him a fake ID, $20, sequential. So he told my friend to think about it, and he walked off. So my friend, he was basically thinking this would be great. Fake ID, meaning he could get to where he wanted to go see any movie he wanted. He'd be like King Kong of the world. And I told him, dude, that's a bad idea because for starters, you have to worry about what if scenarios. And he said, what if scenarios? I said, yeah, you see, when you have a situation, you have to think of what if scenarios like a game of chess. Like scenario 1 through 4 would be your pawns. Scenarios 6, 7, and 8 would be your rooks, your knights, your kings, your queen, and your bishops. Or for an anime reference that would make it a little more similar, guys, evil chess pieces from the anime High School DxD. So I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say for that one. If you guys want to watch the anime, then I could recommend it. But anywho, so I told him it was a bad idea, and this is where our mental breakdown of chess begins. So, like, if I gave him a con of having a fake ID, he gave me a pro, or if I give him a negative, he gave me a positive. So, during a half hour of lunch, sorry, with these on, I can't hear myself in case like I make a mistake. But during lunch, we had our what if scenario game of chess, where like if I play a pawn of a what if scenario, he counters out with a positive scenario. And it took him, and we almost cleared the board. Like, metaphorically, every time I played a pawn, he countered with a pawn. Every time I played a rook, he countered with a rook. So basically, he kind of mirrored whatever I said or did, you know. So like, it was like playing. It's like playing chess with half of yourself, and but the other half knows what move you're gonna make. So basically, it's like splitting your brain right down the middle. Or in this case, it's like a portion of you that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If you're playing a game against with the evil part of yourself, the evil part of yourself would know the positive side of yourself's move, kind of like yin and yang. So finally, I told him, dude, it's a bad idea. I honestly suggest you should just see about waiting to get the ID when you go for your learner's permit or pre-test or stuff like that. Well, finally, instead of listening to me, what he decided to do, oh, I was checking something real quick, but instead of listening to me, he decided to work when we weren't in school. What he did was he did a dog walking job. He did all kinds of stuff so he could get the money to get a fake ID. So we didn't go to the movies until next next weekend. And apparently, I found out that from another friend of mine that the kid makes fake IDs, but he charges by how they want to look. So, like, if you guys seen Super Bad, then you know where that's going from. If you want the ID to look fake enough to be able to do what you want, it was $20 that he charged. And if you wanted it to make it look like it was literally from the state, it was $30 more. So if you guys, and these things were like laminated, custom made. So the kid pretty much was making some very good cash on students. Okay. So, mm, but I'm sorry, I'm kind of talking your guys' ears off, but I'll get to the main drag coming up. So the day of school on that before we went to the movies, my friend sneaks off. Like, we was in class. He said he had to use the facility. Teacher, who was nice enough to allow two people to go, decided to let him go. I waited about 5 minutes, and then I had to say I had to go. And she looked at me, and I said I had a very heavy breakfast this morning, and I had a cup of tea, which is why you don't mix bread, egg, butter, and tea together. Well, after I said that, every student looked at me weird, and I was like, "What? It's a healthy breakfast." So instead of coming up with another argument, the teacher just signaled me to go. And I followed my friend until I followed him into the same restroom. But him and the guy that he was making the deal with about the fake ID was in one part of the bathroom, and I quickly went into a stall and I overheard. So he basically told my friend to make sure he did not get busted with this because with a fake because I don't know if it's illegal now, but back then, and this was like about 2000. It was in the when I was I think it was either when I was a freshman or a sophomore, but it was way back then when the ID thing happened. But anyway, so my friend got his fake ID. We went to the movies the following night, and it was on a Saturday. And I told him I was going to see a really good anime flick that just was in theaters. Now, back then, I don't know if it was the Pokemon flicks. I don't know if it was one of the Naruto flicks at the time. Heck, I don't even know if it was the Inuyasha flicks. Now, if you guys know those animes, that's good. If you don't, look up the storyline, and I would recommend to watch one of those. But anyhow, my friend told me after he got his ticket that he was going to go get snacks and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, it'll be fine, even though I knew what he was gonna do. Except that night, during the movie, during the one of the movies I said that was playing at the theater that night, I realized I had to, you know, use the restroom. Now, my friend's movie pretty much played a little bit before my movie did because my movie was already just going through the trailers, while his just went through the trailers as quick as possible and got to the movie. Well, after I came out of the facility, I have to settle my stomach and go get me some food. I heard this couple who was a little bit in their 20s or 30s, but they had their IDs, tell me that they was going to see a certain adult themed movie that was based off of a number, a shade of color, and vice versa. And apparently they left the movie theater because during the movie there was funny business going on. Now, I'm wording around it because here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to exactly just call out what it is. So I'm just going to try to use quotes. So, like, if you guys ever seen Zombieland, I will link some quotes down below, or I will link a clip of the movie if I can find it. And you guys can watch that clip, and basically that can explain what was going on in the movie. But sorry, I hit my wire when I went my hand and put my hand down, so that's why there was a bit of shaking. But so, long story short, that same night I was supposed to be staying with my friend. I met up. I overheard the couple that was leaving to get a refund for their tickets, and they said that the movie was bad because there was funny business going around. And my friend came out of the theater and while I was getting a snack, and I asked him, "Hey, how's your movie?" And I thought he was going because he told me he was going to see a different movie, much rather than an anime movie. But he covered his behind because he went to go see that certain type of movie that's based off of a number, shade, and color, and it was kind of an adult flick. That's an R-rated movie. So he said that the movie he went to go see was good, and all that stuff. Um, so after our movies, we decided to head back to his place because that same night, excuse me, I was staying at his place. And we was hanging out, playing video games. We was up till about 1 in the morning. Well, if you guys know the one rule I will tell you, always clean your pockets before like either family comes in the room to do laundry and stuff like that. Because this is the part that's gonna freak you out, and because my friend's mother was very strict at the time. So my friend that had the fake ID, he didn't take everything out of his pockets. So when I got up, I had to go get ready because I was going home the same day. And what happened was his mother basically cleaned out his pockets. And, well, how do I explain this one? The reason why I'm concerned about this is because of how to explain this one, because I don't want to sound rude when I say it this way. But let's just say that after my friend's pockets were cleaned out, his mother kind of found a certain type of prize in his back pocket. If you guys ever seen the TV show Everybody Hates Chris, uh, when and this is the show, but basically in one of the episodes of Everybody Hates Chris, Julius's wife Rochelle thinks he was cheating on her because she found a piece of undergarment in his sock drawer. Um, and basically, long story short, he didn't get the signs until he found out that she was reading a magazine on guns, the chicken, and of course the music. So, long story short, basically, my friend got found out because his mom found an unmentionable in his back pocket, and long story short, the minute I heard her yell WTF or what the Frigimon, I quickly ran upstairs, packed up my bags, and I kind of abandoned ship worse than people abandoning the Titanic when it was sinking. Um, because back then, and I've seen his mother when she was royally mad. When his mother is royally mad, she will pretty much get, bust her kid's rear end to the point where it could look like a dog attack. Okay, and this was in the past because my friend had a brother who was rebellious. Like the brother would do whatever he wanted. Well, and there was one time me and my friend caught him smoking cigarettes, and we didn't even say a word. Like we knew he smoked, so we kept our mouth shut because he would pummel us. And apparently, my friend's mom was like a uh, what was it? What was the name of the female version of Sherlock Holmes? Enola Holmes. And basically, she put the pieces together quick to the point where the older brother got his butt whipped. So she put the pieces together with my friend, and the next day I saw him at school. Every class period he was in, he was standing up because apparently she pretty much busted his rear end to the point where if he goes to sit down, every time he would try to sit down, his rear end would feel like a heat lamp when you put your hand on a heat lamp. It was burning. So, but the long story short of that one is I did give him an I told you so, and he decided to take my advice and wait till he took his written exam and stuff, which he did get his license after that. But basically, though, he for the next few months until that point, his mother had to monitor him on what he did. So basically, it was another version of The Simpsons with him because his phone was bugged with a tracker, so his parents could watch where he goes, watch what he does, and if they think he wasn't doing anything at that specific location, they'll follow him. Uh, anyway, guys, sorry, I got to talking and I forgot. So I just got done drinking this. It kind of tastes like mint with milk, like they mixed tea leaves, mint, and milk in a thing together. It wasn't bad, but I will give this a 9 out of 10 because, like, when it hits in here, it pretty much gives you that satisfaction, like, oh, hey, you actually got something. Okay, so before I try the chocolate cookies, drink down some water. Okay. So next up, I am trying these Hello Panda chocolates, which is cream center with crunchy shell. And here's the packaging they come in. So I don't know how many are in a bag. What in the world? This is like the second time I got something that feels like it's from the childproof section. Okay. There we go. Alright, guys, so I'm going to pull one out and show you what it is. So it kind of looks like a mini cookie, judging from it. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my judgment on these. So just to show you these look like the containers felt like of the mini Oreos. But these are a little bit bigger, and these look like pandas. So these are not bad. These are actually really good. I'm gonna need to pinch that one. Really? Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I hate being a Butterfingers. So I'll describe these little Hello Pandas things. So the ones I have right now are chocolate. And people say I have to get the strawberry ones too. But these actually taste like when you get those vanilla, those wafers that are strawberry, chocolate, or vanilla. But these have chocolate cream in them, which is really, really good. Because to my taste buds, the chocolate cream kind of tastes like it has a mixture of a uh, a dot of chocolate and a dot of peanut butter. Mm. But like I said, guys, I'm sorry to talk with my mouth full. So to do more talking, guys, there is one. I'm gonna answer one thing that's probably been on everybody's mind. So previously, in my last video, I did tell you guys that I would possibly be seeing about doing an education video. And what I meant by that is like this. because I have to catch you guys up to speed. Gotta get myself adjusted. So, I told you guys in my last video about a couple of my friends who got bombarded because they were on a public sidewalk talking about animes. And they were talking about it right outside of a church where there were a couple people working on a quote-unquote holy garden. I'm not going to say the name of the church as long as but I know the building is a church. Because, and like I said, guys, apparently there are nowadays where you have to be careful with what wordings you use around those kind of places, because people can get a little, I don't know how to explain it. But those short term is like like getting zapped with lightning. You go to say a specific word, and to them it's like getting zapped with lightning that they have to react on self-defense. Or if you guys seen any old robot flicks where a robot gets zapped with lightning, it causes a malfunction in the circuits, and then pretty much the robot will do the exact opposite of what it's programmed to do. But the reason why I'll possibly be doing an education video is because, as I said, a couple of my friends have been bombarded about from one church. And I just found out this last night. One of my friends from the east, like farther east from where I'm at, just got bombarded outside just for talking to his friends about anime. And he said I could bring up the discussion. Sorry, guys, I'm going to angle this a little bit. Make sure I'm... okay. So he said I could talk about this. So I'll fill you guys in on what happened. And then we'll go about it this way. So, a buddy of mine, and he's around... he's farther east up towards where where a main body of water is. Not going to be specific on what state, but we're just going to say it's near a body of water. So it'll be up corner, slowly going down the side. You guys can take a guess on that. Him, his girlfriend, and a couple of their female friends were all walking together talking about animes. And they was talking about animes that sounded good to watch. Well, what happened was they were passing this group, and apparently they were a same thing. They were churchgoers, and because they were the type of churchgoers that constantly dress nice and just try to set a better example, or stuff like that. Well, apparently they overheard my friends, and one of the kids decided to step up and flat out told my friend that basically what we like is sin. And long story short, basically my friend was getting peeved because apparently these guys was casting a stone that they shouldn't have. And he told him, and like he just said, and this is what he said. He told me, he said, and basically, I'm not going to say this precise quote the guy said, but apparently he said he was going to wind up in the devil's hot seat. Now, my friend, who's kind of like me, you get a short fuse, you want to pick a fight. My friend was so angry, and he told me this, that he told me he was about tempted to jack the guy's jaw and give him a good uppercut where his jaw was wired shut. I told him no, because karma goes always around on everybody. Okay? And what I mean by that, guys, is karma is a thing that pretty much is like instant karma. And I'll explain what happened to me after I say this. But if you guys watched My Name is Earl, you know what karma does. You do good things happen. You do bad things happen. Well, apparently this kid did get some instant karma. So, and my friend kind of knew about this. So, what happened was, apparently, and this is the funny story on on the guy's instant karma. So, it was during the week. My friend went out to the Y, the one that was from the East Coast. He went out to the Y, and it turns out the guy that told him he would burn in the devil's hot seat attended the same Y. Well, some kids was trying to pull a prank where it was an old high school prank where they take the signs off of the changing rooms. Now, keep in mind, if you guys ever been to the Y, you know that if people get pushed hard enough because either they've been bullied and stuff like that, they will switch, like they will do some kind of small prank to get payback. Like switch the signs, take toilet paper, stuff like that. Well, my friend knew when the signs were changed. But the funny thing was, the guy that cast the stone on my friend and his group that was talking about anime, well, apparently he had just finished playing basketball with my one friend because my one friend wanted to teach him a lesson without physical violence. Well, he lost the basketball game. The guy rubbed it in. And the funny thing was, he basically was going to the changing room to change back into his normal wear. He wound up walking into the wrong locker room because somebody switched the boys and the girls' locker room signs around. And the instant karma was basically there were girls that were in the workout program and that were taking wrestling at the time. Pretty much beat him to a pulp because they thought he was a peeping Tom. And they body slammed him hard to the point where he kind of got insta karma. Now, my friend didn't get video, but it was actually kind of funny to hear the story because it kind of reminded me of an incident in anime where someone got misunderstood thinking they were peeping and basically got the crap beat out of when it was the other people that were peeping and not him. So, honestly, and I'm going to be honest, guys, did the guy get instant karma? Yeah, because every time he saw my friend, he never said anything. And the best part is, when anybody else says anything, he instantly does this. He tells them, eh, and he flats out tell them, we do not cast the first stone. We keep our opinions to ourselves and honor and respect other people and individuals. Which I'm surprised because the first time he said it to my friend pretty much wanted to kick his butt to the point where his jaw was wired shut. And he never did. But it took getting butt kicked by a bunch of girls, which, no disrespect there. Because, like I said, guys, I will be honest. There were times I've had my fair share of misunderstandings, which I will be happy to bring up my shortcomings. And I will probably put a little censor in that one too. But it took a good butt kicking by a bunch of girls on the one guy that was critiquing my friend to make him realize, I shouldn't be a jerk because then karma kicks him in the butt. And lucky for me, I kind of know how vicious girls can be. And I'll bring up my shortcoming, guys. So, there was one time when I was a kid. I was rushing around trying to do stuff, like I don't remember if I was in an apartment or something like that. I don't know if it was school, an apartment, but I remember I was rushing around because I had a plethora of things to do. I was heading out towards a laundromat, and I had to use the restroom because it was like I had that day I had like 3 sodas, 2 cups of tea, and a cup of coffee because I had a lot to do, and I didn't drink them all at the same time. I drank little by little every maybe 2-3 hours, and it went through my system pretty bad that I had to use the bathroom. What happened was I got to the laundromat, and they had one of those bathrooms that were kind of co-ed. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's one of them bathrooms that has a male and female sign. It's a one door, but it locks, unlocks, and stuff like that. Well, what happened was a misunderstanding. There was a female in there, and guys, I'm gonna say it this way. Apparently she spilled coffee on her shirt, so she was changing her shirt. And I opened the door because the door wasn't locked. Well, she thought that I picked the lock, and when she saw me, like, we stood there for a minute, like if you guys seen an anime, you know what happens. Like, basically, you'll stand there for an awkward moment. Well, she picked up her bag, swung hard, and hit me right here in the face to the point where I had a big swell on my cheek. Now, to describe that pain, think of getting smacked because you said something offensive, and then your cheek instantly swells. That's how bad it was. So, for 5 minutes, she cussed me out, and I told her the door was unlocked. And she looked at me like, no, I locked the door. I said, if the door was locked, I wouldn't have opened it so easily. And I said, did you make sure that it was pushed in? Well, she checked the lock, and the mistake was she must have, she realized, but she accidentally unlocked it because she hung her bag on the handle, and because of the weight of the bag, when the thing was pushed down, because she didn't think, because how she put her bag on, she even explained it to me. She put it on the handle, let go, and the bag just went and then bounced back up. It triggered the lock to unlock, so that's why it was unlocked. So when I had to use the facility, I thought the bathroom was vacant. Now, this is where you guys are going to question me, like saying, Anime, how come you didn't knock on the door? Well, back then, my brain was going 500 miles per hour. And then it was like I couldn't process it because like I really had to use the restroom, and on top of that I had a plethora of things to do, so that's why my brain didn't process. So why didn't you knock on the door? So anyway, she and I did work it out. We had no problems. I did apologize, and she did apologize for whacking me with her bag. And after that, we just, we became good friends after that. Even though she did joke around with me, because call me saying that, still bringing up that past. And she's like, well, be thankful it wasn't a boxer. And I said, why? And she said, well, you would have been TKO'd. Or to quote Friday, you would have been KTFO. So, but anyway, guys, that was the end of my end of that incident from my past, plus the story about my one buddy from the Far East. But my review on these things were not so bad. But the taste, they tasted like the mini Oreos, but instead of using like the white cream filling, they used the chocolate with peanut butter mix. It was actually pretty good. Like these things were actually pretty good. But anyhow, guys, like I said, that was my review on the Hello Pandas, the matcha tea or the matcha latte, and like I said, guys, well, those stories I told you guys from my past, and the one about my friend Current. I tried my best to keep those that kind of info pretty much, I'm just hoping I didn't say anything wrong because, like I said, I try to follow the guidelines, but I just don't want people thinking that I'm saying something wrong left and right, and you know, it comes back and comments start roasting me, like saying, "Oh, you're saying this and you're saying this," because I've had that happen before, where I'll say something, but I don't know how to word it. So when I try to use something else, then it's like, okay, so they use that word, but if you say another word in that word spot, then it could lead to problems. Uh, but anyhow, guys, I got to get off here because it is officially 5:38. I've got to take it easy for a little bit because I'll have to go out today. So I'll probably just mellow out, watch a movie, or do something else. Um, and don't forget, guys, I still have one more snack, and it is the melon bread. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. And I got 3 more drinks. So we got the melon bread and 3 more drinks. And I hope you guys will be looking forward to it. But anyhow, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and favorite. Comment down below. And I hope you guys enjoy your day, or your night. But this is MA Gamer Fanboy, and I gotta go. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and favorite. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys because I gotta go. Peace.